What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. I saw that Prydwen went ahead and provided a reroll guide, so I am interested to see who they think you should reroll for upon the official release of the game. I also want to weigh in on the topic and give you my opinion on the characters that I was able to use from my hands-on experience, and I want to get your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. I'm interested to see what you have to say. So with that being said, we're going to hop into it. Also, drop a like, sub if you're new, join the FPG fam, and hit the hype button for me. If you see it somewhere around there, go ahead and hit it. It helps out the channel tremendously. A few other things before we do hop into the video, though. Really quickly, I did want to mention, over on Stove, if you have an account, or if you feel so inclined to make an account, go ahead and follow your boy over here. I can use some more followers over on Stove, as well as follow the other Chaos Zero Nightmare content creators. They're all fantastic. You want to make sure to follow them. Stay up to date with their videos that they drop and things of that nature, as well as Epic 7. If you're into that, go ahead and follow them over there as well. And then the very last thing, the sponsor of the channel, lootbar.gg. If you want to go ahead and support the channel a little further beyond, I'll have a link in the description down below. Go ahead and click on that link. If you plan on topping up in any one of these games, you can use my link to do so, and you will get a cheaper price than you would in game. And Loot Bar is safe, it is secure, it is fast, and you'll see it right in your account with your UID that you use, and you connect it and you have your account and your currency there right away. So once again, if you plan on topping up anyways, you might as well go ahead and use my link in the description down below to be able to get a cheaper price than you normally would pay in game for any one of these games, whether it be Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Endless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, Punishing Gray Raven. They have them all here. And once again, you help out the channel, you help your boy out, and you help yourself out by getting a cheaper price. So massive shout out to lootbar.gg, and thank you guys for all the support. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. So they have the reroll guide. Interested to see who they think you should reroll for. Now, I also want to put a quick disclaimer that the developers did state that they're going to be doing some balancing with the characters, so we will have to see how the characters look upon official release. This is, of course, being based off of the playtest, so things can change, and I'll leave a link to this down in the description below for you guys to go ahead and check out for yourself. But they go on to say, based on the gameplay available in the closed beta, our suggestion is a reroll for Khalip. No surprise there, no shocker. Honestly, Khalip was far and away the best character in the game. I really don't think there's an argument to be had there. He would be the top priority to reroll for, but I do have some other suggestions that if you were to get them, you could start the game and be perfectly fine. But Khalip would be the one to go for. Like, if you're re-rolling and you have to get Khalip, that would be the one, right? Or I should say, if you want to get the best character in the game, Khalip would be the one for multiple different reasons. She's a Vanguard, so naturally she's tanky. She provides shields, but not only that, she could do everything else. She does tons of damage, and not only does she do tons of damage, but it's AoE damage, meaning it hits all the enemies. He's absolutely insane, right? But I'm interested to see what they have to say. They also have a guide on how to reroll, so you can go ahead and take advantage of that if you want to take a look here. How to reroll, probably optimally, right? Once again, we'll have to see upon official release if that remains the same. But why should I reroll for Khalip? Excuse me. The short answer is that she makes the game a lot easier. Yeah, 100%. Big shields, definitely. Great AoE damage, pretty much what I said. Universal break with tenacity damage, good regardless of enemy attribute weakness. Yeah. And you put her with like 2 supporters, or you put her with another like sub DPS, for example like Ray or something like that, or Nia, and she performs beautifully, right? They go on to say shielders are extremely important for Chaos Roguelike, one of the main progression systems in the game. I agree. Chaos Zero Nightmare Chaos Roguelike inflicts stress on your combatants every time they take damage. If a combatant takes too much stress, they suffer a breakdown. Breakdowns reduce your total max HP. Pretty much what they're stating is that Khalip is able to provide you shields so you can protect yourself, because if you go in that mental breakdown state, you're gonna have less health, and it's gonna be easier for your combatants to get stressed, as well as you have to funnel through their breakdown cards to be able to get them back online. So if you could prevent all of that from happening, it is great. They go on to say Khalip outputs great amount of shielding while also constantly cheating out her 3-cost AoE attack for free. Yeah, pretty much she's able to like spam her cards in a sense once you get to that point. And then she's able to just spit out damage. She also shreds all enemy tenacity with overpower, allowing you to break easier for more AP and stress recovery. Her power as a main DPS/shielder hybrid means you can afford to bring pure supports. Yeah, pretty much what I was saying. Khalip is just insane, right? definitely the best character once again in the game. We'll have to see upon official release if that remains the same. For example, if they bring her down to be more in line with the other characters in the game, or if they bring the other characters up more to Khalip's level. We'll have to see. But yeah, far and away the best character in the game. She is top priority when it comes to rerolls. Once again, we're going to take a look at some other ones. I'm going to give my opinions on some other ones. If you were to pull them, you can go ahead and work with. But they do have some notable 4-stars and dupe breakpoints, which is interesting. I do want to see what they have here. So Cassius, Nia, Maribel, Mika. Yeah, Cassius, I did a whole dedicated video on that individual. If you want to check it out, it should be in the playlist. Cassius is insane, right? He does some pretty good damage, has low cost card. One of, if not the only character or combatant in the game that allows you to look through your deck and choose a card. Also, if you have this first dupe, you can look not only in the deck, but now in the graveyard. Insane utility, right? Absolutely insane utility. A phenomenal 4-star character with dupes. Insane. Cassius is great, and you can make some 500 IQ plays with this character in particular. Pair him with Khalip. Great synergy right there. Also with Nia, I think Nia is really good as a sub DPS. Also has a pretty good support as well. The morale, they go on to state right here, the morale being able to boost your damage. Really good. I love Nia. I think she is pretty underrated in this game. Nia, Cassius, Khalip team, really good. Really good team. And I think is one that you should invest in. Nia. Maribel, fantastic shielder, if not one of the best shielders in the game, because she provides hundreds of shields. Talked about Maribel before. I think she's really good, especially in the start of the game, like in the beginning. Build her up, invest into her. She's going to really do well in the beginning. Does she fall off towards the end? Yeah, possibly, right? But we'll have to wait and see. Also, if you have Magna, Magna kind of replaces Maribel, I believe. I didn't have Magna in the game, but from what I can tell, she kind of does exactly what Maribel does, just maybe better because she's a 5-star. I'm not too sure. You can let me know in the comments down below. And then we have Mika. Mika's free. You get Mika. Mika's phenomenal. You should definitely invest into Mika and build her up. I think you would be making a mistake if you don't, especially early game, especially if you're free to play. He provides you AP points, which is insane. Like one of the few characters that provides you AP points. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, probably the best healer in the game as well. Is the wave mechanic. Like Mika is insane. I think if you don't build up Mika as a free to play, or just in general, right, even if you're pay to play, I think you would be doing yourself a disservice. I think Mika is one that you should really be investing into, and a great 4-star. Once again, dupes is phenomenal on all of these characters. Now moving on to some that if you were to pull them, I think would be good investing into. But I did want to mention I didn't have any experience with Luke, Magna, Renoa, or Rin, just because I didn't pull them, unfortunately. So I can't really speak on them too specifically. I've seen some gameplay of Renoa. I've seen some gameplay of Rin. I think they're good in their own right, but they might just be a little more niche. I think Renoa does a lot of damage and, you know, is really good at follow-up. I think Rin can do some pretty good damage herself, but I just don't know if these are characters that you would be re-rolling more for specifically. But if you were to get them, I think you can start the game and be fine. Once again, Magna, I've seen some gameplay on. Once again, seems very similar to like Maribel, just better as a Vanguard. But her being a Vanguard, if you get her, then you might as well just re-roll for Khalip, because Khalip's a Vanguard and just better, I believe. And then Luke, I'm not too sure, but I think he's just a really good main DPS, right? So if you wanted to start the game with him, I guess you could. The other ones, Veronica, I think I was able to have some extensive use on Veronica. I think she's good in like a mono passion team. I think she might just be good in teams in general, because she does have that ballistic mechanic and she's able to do pretty good follow-up damage. I don't know if re-rolling, like if you want the best star, Veronica would be it. I think she is good. I think she is one that you could start the game with if you wanted to, but probably not the best. Orlea, I had some really good experience with Orlea. I think Orlea is one of those characters where her potential or her stonks are going to rise as we progress through the game some more. I think starting out, she's decent, and she has a really cool mechanic. One of the most unique characters in the game, or combatants in the game, with her mechanics, with the creations, and being able to retain them and have them level up like Pokemon. I think she's really cool. I think she's a very fun character. I think you could make some 500 IQ plays with Orlea. And once again, I think her stonks are going to rise as you progress through the game some more. But starting out, maybe not the best, right? Maybe not the best starting out. you maybe felt like you might be held back a little bit by starting out with her versus somebody like Khalip, who's just a little bit easier to use, and you could just do things and things happen. With Orlea, it's more of like a ramp up, more of like a build up with her. So Orlea may not be the best reroll like to start out with. Mei Lin is one that I would recommend. Like if you pull Mei Lin, I think you could start the game and be perfectly fine. She has passion weakness. She's able to ramp up her damage. The damage that she's able to do is insane. She's able to buff herself. I think Mei Lin is a good self-sustaining damage dealer that you could start the game with and be fine, right? Not having to specifically get Khalip. I think Mei Lin is a fantastic character. You could definitely start the game with her. Another one, Kayron. I had a lot of experience with this character. Pulled a dupe of him. I think Kayron is just an individual main DPS that just spits out damage. He's able to melt health bars, but that's really about all he does, right? He has AoE on maybe one or two of his cards. I believe his ult's an AoE if I'm not mistaken. He's just tons of damage. That's pretty much all he is. Tons of damage. He's a lot of fun to use. He's really cool, and I think you could start the game with him if you have main DPS. You pair him up with like Mika and Ray, or Mika and Tressa. That team, you're going to be able to go pretty far with that, right? Invest into him, get the right cards associated with him, and he's really going to be able to carry you as a good character. I think he's a good character. And then the other one that I would recommend if you get him, and I think he might be a sleeper in my opinion, is Hugo. I think Hugo's a sleeper. I think he's a really good character. I think he has tons of potential, and it's pretty much associated with his follow-up attack. I think he can do a lot of damage. The follow-up is really nice, paired with, once again, somebody like Tressa who can do damage over time, and then Hugo with the follow-ups. I think that team is going to be pretty nasty in this game, and I don't want you to sleep on Hugo. I think this character is really good, and if you were to pull him, I think you can start the game and be really, really good starting out, right? Once again, with Mika, Hugo, and Tressa, I think that team's going to be fantastic. Anyways, those are my thoughts, my opinions on the topic. Once again, I want to hear yours down in the comments below and see what you guys have to say. We're just going to continue the hype train until the game officially releases. Cannot wait. We're going to be doing a lot more content. With that being said, let me know what you would like to see next, and I'll see you all in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. Call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.